Huge ROI, huge ROI. That's what we're going to be talking today. People are spending so much money on marketing dollars. I get it. But then again, why spend money on marketing dollars when you have it right in your pocket, basically? And what I mean by that is, well, you're going to learn. We're going to be hanging out with Megan. Megan, what's up?
Hey, I'm so happy to be here. Let's talk about putting more money in the pocket.
That's exactly right. Wouldn't you agree with me that a lot of people are spending money on marketing, on Facebook ads, on whatever the case is, when really if they take care of their own friends and family and clients, that the ROI is probably going to be better than if they're spending money on Facebook ads, et cetera, correct?
Yeah, look, I mean, it's sexy. Spending money on Facebook ads and marketing and client acquisition, it's the hot thing to do. It's the sexy thing to do. And I get it. You get it as well. There is instant gratification to that, put up a Facebook ad. If it was done well, you could go start filling your pipeline 10 minutes later and start getting clients within hours. So there's cha-ching is quick, right? And the other thing that I've noticed, Kenner, is that a lot of folks still think their biggest problem in their company, even if they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, even if they're making 7 figures a month, they still think that their biggest profit or money-making problem can be solved in the category of marketing and client acquisition. And typically, once you get up to like the $2 to $5 million mark, your problem isn't client acquisition. You already have a full pipeline. Your marketing's already working. You probably have a marketing team working for you. Sales are not your problem. People are buying. What the problem is, all those people are leaving. They buy your stuff. Their expectations are not met. They're unhappy, unsatisfied, not getting results, whatever the case. And they are exiting. And that's where all your profit is going, right out the bottom of your leaky butt. So bucket. So, client acquisition, it's the hot thing. It's a sexy thing, but let's turn our attention to keeping our clients longer and finding reasons why and getting them to even want to stay in our ecosystem longer, right? Let's talk about that.
So give me a little bit of information about you, your background, because it's a unique background. And then why are you such a queen of, I would say client retention, or you don't want to say customer service, but why are you the queen of what you are? That's why I should say.
Right. Client experience. We can go with that. Yeah.
There you go.
My background is in education. I didn't go to college to be a teacher. I actually got a degree in business management and business administration. Like so many people, I had no clue what I wanted to do when I graduated. My mom was a career educator and a principal. So she encouraged me that summer. She was like, Megan, I think you should be a teacher. You would be such a phenomenal teacher. Like, just go get your master's degree. Like, I'll send you back to school. Like, go get your master's degree. So I did. I got into school like 2 months later. I got a master's degree in teaching. Part of the story is I'm from a very small town in North Carolina, 2,000 people. You and I are both Carolina folks.
South Carolina, North Carolina. I've adopted North Carolina, but yeah.
Yeah. And I taught business education classes at the high school I graduated from. My mother's classroom was right beside mine. We taught the same thing. And she was my mentor. My mom was a phenomenal mentor of teachers in the classroom. So, fast forward, we had a daughter. I left the classroom and I got a coaching certification. And I've been in the coaching and online education space for 13 years. Part of my experience also was the director of client success for a very large scale coaching company between 2013 and 2016. So a lot of my perspective, I know, is unique. I get it. It's unique. So much of my perspective is, what about the student? And in most of our cases, I say student because I work largely with coaching and online education companies. Could be a student, could be customer, could be client, whatever you call your person, member of the community. So much of my lens is the voice of the customer, the voice of the client, the voice of the student, because they're having their own psychological experience that most providers are not paying attention to after the sale. We are taught, pay attention to the psychology of your client in marketing, give them what they want, sell them on what they want, give them what they need, blah, 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 blah. We're really taught a lot about the buyer journey, but we're not really paying attention to the customer journey. Yep. What are people? Look, the truth is, I don't care what service or product any of us are selling. We're selling to people who are coming to us overwhelmed. They're already overwhelmed. They're already at max capacity, or they think they are. They already are busy. They already don't have time. and they're not the expert in what we're the expert in. So what a lot of us are doing behind the scenes in our services is this is what we think. Well, you're an adult. You made a conscious decision to swipe your credit card. You bought it. You know what it takes to actually get results. Like, it's your job to show up and take action.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're treating people like that versus actually getting to know our customers and stewarding our customers and leading our customers through a psychological and an operational journey. Because here's the truth. I don't care that we're all adults. None of our customers are going to lead themselves. They have to be led. And if we don't lead them, they're not actually going to get all the way to the point where we want them to, which is to become an advocate of our brand, which means they're out praising and singing the good tune about you, your organization, your team, and your brand, and bringing new people in. But I promise you, they're not going to get there on their own. So we've got to really, strengthen our skills and our team and really look at customer journey as this marriage to the buyer journey, and not just stop focusing on our customers after they buy from us.
Yeah. So give us some hacks. You're obviously the person to talk to about this. What kind of hacks would you suggest as far as customer journey or customer experience that you think worked for, let's say a real estate agent as an example? We have over 2,000 real estate agents who listen to our stuff. So give something, give a little bit of added value to them right there.
Yeah. I'm a really big fan of what I call onboarding. And this is the point from someone has decided to do business with you, whether, some sort of sales conversation, consultation, they've paid their money, they've made a decision to work with you. One of the places where we're really missing the boat is how are we properly onboarding people? And what does that word mean? Really what it means is we're getting them acclimated. We're getting them set up. We are helping them adopt our process or our way of doing business, or adopt, like, what are they going to have to do to be able to get the result they desire to get? And we want that process to be comfortable for the person. We want that process to be something that's going to help them get results quickly, or some sort of quick win. So what is that? I'm a really big believer in first impressions, right? Your onboarding process, that is your first impression. That is your new customer, your new client's first impression of you. So what does that onboarding process or sequence or communication need to look like so that your clients' expectations are being met, so that what you just marketed and sold to them, what you're actually delivering is congruent, and it sounds the same. It looks the same. It is the same thing that you actually told them. Look, we're really good at heavily courting people in the marketing and sales. And then as soon as they become a client, it's like our communication drops off. Yeah. Our service drops off. We're not paying attention. And so overly communicate with people. I mean, that's the biggest thing in onboarding. It's hold their hand early so that you don't have to hold their hand as much later. So what does that communication need to look like for you? Is it emails? Is it texts? Is it picking up the phone and having a conversation? Is it meeting with people in person? And what do each one of those touch points need to cover? So that, again, go back to what I said, everybody coming to us, no matter what our business is, they're overwhelmed people. They're overwhelmed. They're at max capacity. They don't want to have to nobody's buying something because they want to have to figure it out on their own. They would have already figured it out. So how can we simplify? Yep. How can we streamline? How can we create a system that's very easy to follow, that is step by step? And I'm not saying dumb it down. I'm not saying act like people are in kindergarten. You don't have to talk to people that way. But how can we really lead them through this onboarding experience such that they feel taken care of? Yep. They feel like they know what's going on. They know what you're up to. You're communicating to them, and they can see and tell that progress and improvement is being made, because adults have to see that they're making progress and improvement. So how can you communicate that to them or show that to them visually? Hey, progress has been made. I'll give you an example. I have a few times. It's not in a while. I haven't done this. I've not ordered a Domino's pizza in a really long time.
Okay.
But they have this whole promise around, if you don't get your pizza delivered to your front door in 30 minutes, you get it for free. Well, when you order your pizza online, you can then like look at this portal and there's a timeline and it tells you like Jerry just got your order. Martha is getting your ingredients ready. John is making your pizza. Your pizza is in the oven. Sally has left with your pizza. Like I will watch it. And so in a way, that's almost like your Domino's onboarding experience. I can see the improvement. I can see the progress. I know when I'm going to get my pizza. So I'm not over here thinking and wondering and making up stories in my mind that aren't even true. And that's what all of our clients are doing. They're telling themselves stories that are not true unless we are the ones showing them the process and communicating it with them.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I just heard that, as a matter of fact. I didn't even thought about it until just recently when I heard that. Now as consumers, we're getting we're kept not in the dark, but very opposite. We're being kept up to date as to what's going on all the way along the line. And I think me as a consumer, I like that. But then again, I would also think, not then again, but I think that the customer journey for us, no one's a client until they've given us 3 referrals. So they have to be a quote client in the traditional sense for a while. And so we're always working the client, trying to make sure they're taken care of for them to give us, 3 referrals, and then they become a client. But I think you're right. It's the onboarding where they most love you for the most part. They really love you at that point. And then hopefully you're getting referrals and you're, concreting the relationship, and then you're going to be off and running as a result of that right off the bat. Your onboarding comments are very, very good.
Oh yeah, and I mean, you brought up referrals. I think also people wait way too long to ask their clients for referrals. They wait really long. You don't have to wait until they get the biggest result that you promised them. That's why onboarding, we really want to design it such that progress is being made, improvement is being made, they're getting some quick wins, and you want to like strike when the emotion is higher. We don't want to strike when the emotion is low, because here's the truth too. Clients are going to experience low points with us. Yeah. It's not all going to be happy and hunky-dory and they're just hitting all the marks and the milestones and everything's working out in their favor. It's like a roller coaster. It's up and down. Yeah. So, you can actually weave in pretty early on. Now you've got to strike when the iron is the right temperature. You've got to kind of enter that conversation in the right moment. But when you have done well by your client and your client has experienced some quick wins, you've got an opportunity right there to ask for referrals.
Right then's the time to do it too. I love it. Yeah. What about so? What's another tax hack? What's another hack as far as customer journey, customer experience that can add value to, let's say, a real estate agent who's a pretty big real estate agent with a big team? Let's just say.
Yeah. Client experience and client success and your clients getting results, it really does start at the company level. So I think one of the easiest places to start, you mentioned like somebody who has a team of people, become a client-centric company. Well, how do we do that? It's really simple. I'm sure if you're listening to this, and I hope if you're listening to this, you are already holding team meetings, whether it's once a week or it's every day you're having a team huddle, but you're more than likely, if you've got a team, you are having consistent team meetings. What happens in a lot of companies is you've got all your different departments. You have marketing, you have sales, you have HR, you have finance, you have client success, you have all your different departments, and they're all siloed out. And they're all kind of working in their little lane and their little silo, but they're not actually communicating with each other. And so you really want to bring together all of the departments, including your client services or client success or whatever you call that department, because that person in that department actually knows your successful client better than your marketing team does. They really do. Who's working with the people who are your amazing clients? Who's working with the people who, are your pain in the tail clients, or the clients who aren't engaging or aren't showing up? Who knows the client that you want to keep acquiring better than anybody else on your team? Yep. Who knows the success that your clients are having better than anybody else on the team? It's who's working in client services and client success and client fulfillment, who's over there. And so weekly in your team, let that department share the wins they're experiencing with your company's clients, because the clients are the marketing, the sales, the client services, everybody's clients. And so you just have to open up the conversation more, because your client services team, whatever you call them, they are the voice of the customer. They really are. And they have to have a seat at the boardroom table. They have to have a seat in the meetings, so that everybody in the company is thinking client success. So it actually supports your marketing and sales team to make sure they're bringing the right people in. We want to bring in more of the people who we love working with. We want to bring in more of the type of person who sends us referrals. We want to bring in more of the type of person who shows up, engages, gets success, does what they're supposed to do. Who's that person? What's that avatar? And you can be feeding your marketing and sales team information all day long. And that's like step number one. You could do it on your team meeting tomorrow. It's start talking about who your client is and the success that your company is having with your clients, with the rest of the team.
Love it. You know, you and I could talk all day about this stuff. I mean, unbelievable. Sadly, no. How does someone get a hold of you? Someone should be working with you. If they're any kind of a business owner and they want to actually have a good ROI on top of their spend, they should be talking to you. How does someone get a hold of you?
Yeah, great question. So you can go to my website. It's meganjohnsonhuber.com if you like to do that. I'm also very accessible on social media. So if you're on LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram, Megan J. Huber, send me a DM. You will get the fastest response from me if you hit me up on social media.
All right. How do you spell your name, by the way?
Megan, Megan, middle initial is J, last name is Huber, Huber.
And I'm not just saying, you know, what you're saying makes sense. You know, if I would have met you before we brought on our two customer service people to help us, I would, without a doubt, would have gone with you, because it's very important that we take care of the clients, because you take care of the client, they're going to be with you. Long-term value of a client's huge. Number one. Number two, get referrals, get good positive reviews that adds up. It's like a snowball. Gets bigger and bigger and bigger as it rolls down the road or down the whatever. And I totally agree with a lot of the concepts you've talked about. And the nice thing is, I'm actually glad we're cutting it off a little bit, because if people want to talk to you, they need to get a hold of you and engage you, because they will, I'm sure, make some good money based on some of your consultation.
Yeah, agree, 100%.
Of course, I'm preaching to the choir. Yeah, I know. All right. Once again, this is Kenner French talking from the Vast Voice, telling business secrets to entrepreneurs. Totally appreciate you guys spending time here. You could be spending time watching whatever, Netflix, ESPN, or whatever. By the way, I do watch my own share of ESPN, but I'm very glad that I got to spend time hearing about customer service, customer experience, and customer journey. Really appreciate you spending the time listening and watching. Thank you once again, Kenner French. Dude, I appreciate